There we go. All right. Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Rich Guzman.
Hi guys, I'm Anastasia Halls, better known as Coach Ace.
And welcome to Ace and Rich Freedom by Design Live. And we have a special guest for you today. Can you guess who it is?
Oh, I know who it is. I don't need
you know
to
who it
guess.
is?
I don't need to
Okay,
guess.
well, stay tuned. We're about to announce them right now. But before we do, want to find out who's on the live. Hey, Tracy Lee, what's happening? Tina, Mark, and 4 other people.
Hello, 4 other people.
It's always like that.
But guys, before we get started, actually, this is an exclusive special.
Make sure, can you hear my mic? And can you see us and hear us?
That's
okay.
very important. We don't want no mishaps.
No mishaps.
No tech mishaps. Everybody can hear us loud and clear. 10-4.
10-4.
All right. Awesome.
10-4, good buddy.
Okay, so today what we have is a special exclusive interview with one of our top team members. Actually, these team members rocked it in our business in 2018 when they got started with us within the Affililate system. In the month of December, these 2 individuals actually, oh my God, how can I say this? They hit it big. They crushed it so bad, like so bad that they literally brought it over 40 gold sales.
40?
40.
Oh my.
And they were the first.
God.
They were the first team members to do it on our team. And so we started like creating the recognition program within our team, within Affililate system. And it's called the MVP Team Member of the Month. Well, these ladies, they hit it. They were the first ones to do it. And then they set the pace and the bar for the other team members who are now hitting it.
Oh my God. It's
every
amazing.
month after.
And you know what? And they're still doing it.
They're still doing
Man,
it. Yeah.
they're totally killing it. I love it. I love seeing people get results.
Well, you know, they're like us. Yeah. They hustle.
Hustle.
I like that.
Hustle.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with hustling.
I mean, you know, if you want it bad, you know, you got to work at it, right?
Exactly.
So what
I want to make sure everybody do is actually right now, share this on your timelines, okay? Because sharing is caring. And make sure that you share this and take some notes because these ladies are about to drop some golden nuggets for you so that you can get some takeaways to apply into your own business. If you are marketing any affiliate marketing program online, you can really take some good takeaways from these ladies who are actually hitting it and having success. Okay.
So without further ado, let's hear it, guys, for the one and only Di and Robin. All right. Let me get them over here. There we go. There we go. Ready.
There they are.
Hi, guys.
All right. They are in
How
frame.
you doing?
Hello.
What's happening?
How's the new
Hey, guys.
We are great.
We're doing good. What an honor.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Thank
We
you
really
for having
appreciate
us
it.
on.
Oh, you know, the
you're
honor
welcome.
is all ours, and it's a pleasure to have you guys here. I know you guys have been really busy, and you know you've been really focused, and you know just getting some things in life together. But you never really stop building your business, and that's the key thing here is that you didn't stop building your business, right?
That is
very
correct.
true.
So
That's the one thing that keeps going.
yeah. So okay. So which one's Di and which one's Robin? Because people get confused all the time with that.
I'm Di.
And I'm Robin.
Okay, awesome. So everybody know Di's the one on the left, Robin's the one on the right. Okay.
Now, you know, when they said that, they sounded like the way when they start in the morning with their morning show.
Oh yeah.
That is
That's pretty cool. That's pretty
21
cool.
days and then it's a habit, you know?
It is. It becomes a habit. So my first question to you guys is what?
Before we get started, I got a little story.
What?
I got a little something.
What's that?
You know, guys, when we first met these ladies, okay,
Oh boy.
I want to tell you their belief level was not on par. All right.
True.
They didn't believe what was going on in internet marketing with affiliate marketing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Their belief system was all jacked up. So they kind of like took their time in the beginning, you know, but then one day something woke up in them.
Yeah.
And they made a decision to take things seriously.
That's right.
And that day when it came, that's when things started changing for them. And you guys can learn a lot from these girls. From the flip of a switch, that's when they started getting results.
Absolutely.
When they took it seriously, they started treating it like a real business. They started getting paid like a real business. Okay? All right, go ahead.
Now I can go into
I had to say that.
So for the people who don't know who Di and Robin is, can you share with us about when was the time that you decided you wanted to get in online marketing and what did you do before you got started?
I'll let you take this one.
I think we got started at the very beginning, I think, of 2018.
Yeah, I believe so.
I think it was somewhere around there. But before that, we did karaoke, believe it or not. We were karaoke hosts, and it was a really good business. We did contests all over Florida, but there comes a time when you just have to walk away from something, even though it's good for you.
Well, it got hard to carry.
It got hard to carry equipment, so it was like, enough of this. So then I decided that I missed it so much, though. I really did, and I liked that we could help people. We helped them sing. We helped them to do contests and stuff, and I really, really missed that. I really missed the helping people. And then I said, well, I don't want to go back to a regular job. So I said, I'm going to look online for some kind of work. And the only thing I knew about online work was stuffing envelopes.
That's exactly what she was doing, was looking for online work to stuff envelopes.
Wow.
That's the only thing I ever heard of, right? So as I was looking, I came across online marketing. Actually, it was, I think, the other company that we're with, right? And I showed it to Robin, and she saw all sorts of potential in it. But then we found you two, and we started stalking you because we didn't know.
Well, we did. I didn't want to sign up with anybody, anybody, because again, I didn't believe that this was real, and so I'm very, very skeptical. And so when we found we did the little ad, found the other company. I said, let's check out these people. Let's check out who they are and what they're about, and this and the other. And so we started stalking you, and we stalked you for a little while until we finally said, we're ready to go for it. We're going to go for it.
Well, you were very genuine, and that's what I looked at, and we're very much like that. So we're very genuine, and we wanted to go with people who were basically the same as we were.
Yeah. So when Rich says that video is really a must-have thing, he really is kind of telling the truth.
Absolutely.
Because we would have probably never signed up with you guys had we not have actually seen you and saw how genuine you really are. And that's why we took the plunge to step up and leverage up in the other company as well, because that's, we saw how unique you were.
But I can tell you this much, this is the God's honest truth. I didn't know a blessed thing about marketing at all. The only thing I ever knew about a funnel was it's something you put oil in your car.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like. It sounds what it is.
The same thing back in 2008. I remember, like, funnel. What's a funnel?
The hell's a funnel?
A funnel's like a tornado, isn't it? Like a funnel cloud or something.
I know. And one day I remember this, Ace. You asked me, well, what's your DMO? And I felt about this big because I had no clue what it was, and the embarrassment of asking you what it was. But needless to say, like when we first started, we did treat it like a hobby, like Rich said.
Well, yeah, because we were really skeptical, and we were like, oh, this thing doesn't really work. And so it was kind of like I could see the concept, but I just kind of procrastinated, honestly.
Yeah.
I just kind of stuck it on the back burner and was like, well, okay, when I get to it, I'll do it, and never really, I'd send out an email or two. And then for like about a week, and then I would go, oh, okay. Oh, I forgot to send out the emails, and it would be like a week later, So it was kind of like we were walking around saying, "Oh, we have our own business," And I say this all the time on the morning show. We own our own domain name, so therefore we're entrepreneurs, But we weren't really doing anything.
No.
And then it was just like all of a sudden the light bulb went off, and it was like, wait a minute. This really is happening.
Well, that had a lot to do with them. And I'll tell you, this is the God's honest truth. We saw how you were progressing in another company, and we're like, well, wait a second. And we're both very competitive, but not to go against you. We were just like, they're so genuine, and if they can do it, why not us? And that's what happened, because she broke her ankle.
No,
Couldn't do anything.
Well, I'm going to tell you what the actual turning point for us was. And I don't really care. It doesn't really matter what company it is.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is the actual turning point when we decided to take our business seriously was at our first event.
Oh, yeah.
When we got back from the first event, we just have not stopped since then.
No, not at all.
So we came back and it was like, you know what? This is real. We could see the people. We could touch the people. We knew they were real. It wasn't no longer just a virtual thing. And so we buckled down and we applied the skills that we learned at that event
and still learning.
And still learning. And we networked with the people from the event, you know, which, and I'm going to tell you, that is an amazing thing. You want to make sure you do that because you meet lifelong connections there and other people in your business.
That is very true. I mean, some of the people on our team we met out in Reno, you know.
Funny, I was going to ask you guys that, like, was that the turning point for you?
That was definitely the turning point. I'll be honest with you. We probably have not really watched TV since we got, and you know, it's really funny because I used to hear you guys say all the time about you didn't have a TV or whatever, you never watched TV. And I was like, oh my God, how do they do that? I mean, like, we've got TiVo, everything's recorded. I've watched every Dick Wolf show I could possibly watch. How did you do that? And it was just kind of weird because we came back from the event and I must be like 14 episodes behind on General Hospital. Probably that's the only one that I watched. And usually it's to go from one job, you know, I watch that to kind of zone me out to put on the other hat. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I cannot believe if you'd have told both of us a year ago that we could get rid of our TV, I would have told you were crazy. We don't even have TV.
We don't have TV. We didn't even put it in.
I know TV sucks nowadays anyways. I mean, if you want, yeah, Netflix, you could just like at the end of the night when you're done with your business, just hop on, fall asleep, watch some Netflix and pass out. That's it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's you don't need like TVs anymore. I mean, I got a 46-inch monitor, TV out there that I've had for years. And Angel uses it for gaming and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we really don't even miss it. It's kind of weird because we just stay so focused on what we're doing.
We stay busy all the time.
I'm telling you though, we definitely met in person, and that was a great experience meeting you guys in person.
It's
and
amazing.
And it's like, you know, I was like, wow, these guys are really awesome. Like they're down to earth just like us, you know, and because we love meeting down to earth people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We met a lot of people,
and we invited them. We invited Di and Robin when we got down to the event. We invited them to our room, so they actually was the first ones to come to our room. You know, before the event even started. So like we were like going to our room, we were sitting on the bed and we were just hanging out, talking.
You were real.
And
like, you weren't just people on a video. You were real. You were
we were inseparable because these two, like, we had breakfast with them, we had dinner with them, we had lunch with them, we had coffees with them. It was like we would just talk nonstop. Now that's how you know you have a good partnership with somebody, because you have that chemistry that you can just talk like all night long. You know what I mean? Like,
well, you know, this business is really all about building relationships and cultivating great new relationships and everything. And it's important.
Yeah.
And the great thing about it is you could choose to work, you know, with who you want to work with. I mean, it's your choice how you want to run your business. Yeah. You know, and we choose to run our business and build relationships with certain people. And Di and Rob is definitely one of them.
And we thank you very much for that.
Oh, yeah.
You're welcome. And what really was it was a surprise to me was when your names got called and you guys ended up having to go upstage to receive your badass.
Badass award. We both looked at each other like,
wait, they just spelled our name.
That's cool.
That was cool. Awesome. Yeah. And that was the moment right there that it became real for you even more, right? When you was awesome and you were like holding the certificate, like, holy shit, I'm holding this, but I don't know. Do I even earn this? Did I earn this? And it just sinks in after then. It starts to become reality. Like, wow, I'm really building a business here. And this could really become something. And you guys took it to a whole nother level with PLS by adding that with your primary business. And then, Robin, you started discovering new skill sets.
Yes.
Ain't just karaoke and running hotels. You actually got some skill sets, didn't you?
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, it's challenging because, you know, in my business, you know, in the hotel industry, I've always been in the accounting field and stuff. And my personality hasn't always been the outgoing per se. You know, because like with the karaoke, I did a lot of the digital and the techie stuff and all of that to keep it all functioning and operating properly. But she was always the, you know, the person on stage, the person that talked to everybody, and I really wasn't. So transitioning into this was a little different because like I'm actually talking to people. and it's like I'm seeing people and I'm talking to people, and it's I mean it's interesting. I mean it really is, and I'm really enjoying it because it's just it's working out so differently than I originally in the very beginning thought in my mind. You know, it's just it's crazy.
Yeah.
So when you first heard from us about how Powerlead System can really help you with your primary business, and you first signed up, you got in at gold, right?
Yes.
Okay. And can you share with everybody what happened to you guys when you were attempting to start marketing and you got your first sale? What happened?
You want me to tell them this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think everybody need to listen to this one because
And this is the truth because
learn for entrepreneurs.
absolutely, this is something you can really learn. So we said, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to put out our solo ad. We got our little link. Everything's going to go great. And again, we were still a little skeptical, you know, of like how everything really works.
We were still learning.
We were
though.
still learning. So we sent out our link. We went to gold. So because we had to be gold to be an affiliate to be able to collect commissions. So we said, all right, so we'll go gold. So we went, and before they didn't have MTI. So it was just gold, diamond, platinum. That was it.
Right.
There's 2 mistakes I'm going to teach you people right now. So don't make the same mistakes that we made. So then we sent out our solo ad. I mean, it was like in a matter of freaking minutes. Somebody signed up, bought gold, went diamond. 3 times in that very first solo ad. 3 times. And we weren't diamond. We were only gold.
Uh-oh.
So then I say to myself, I look at Di, I said, oh no, this isn't happening. We're not passing up commissions. Love Ace, but we're not passing up commissions. That's not going to happen. So I said, we're going all in. That's what I said.
At the time, it was platinum.
You know, it was being platinum. So I thought, so learn this lesson. This is a very important lesson to learn. I thought, oh, well, all in is the top level. It's platinum. So let's go platinum. We're going platinum. So I did. I went platinum. Did another solo ad run. Bam. Passed up some more diamonds because we weren't diamonds.
We thought we were diamond.
I'm all in.
So how many? Well, I mean, count that. How many diamonds did you pass up?
Like $600.
Like,
Wow.
yeah, it was a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I said,
We got good solo ad vendors at the time, and they just kept going.
I mean, it was like when we first started. And so I said, no, we're not going to do this. When MTI comes out, we're going MTI. So if there's any lesson that I could teach anybody tonight, leverage yourself all in every level.
Every level.
Yeah.
I promise you. You don't want to be sitting there like us going, where am I? Because you get this email that says you just passed up a diamond. You just passed up a gold. I mean a platinum. You don't want those emails.
No, but I can tell you this. Yeah, the way we're doing it now, some of our MTI members, they went MTI first after gold, which is great because then if they get an MTI, they can go back down, and go diamond and platinum.
Yes,
It seems to work out the best for people.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. We had influence on that. Yeah. It's a really lucrative plan. It really is lucrative. And
so how did it feel though? Here's the question. How did it feel when you started to see momentum starting to pick up in your business? How did that feel? And can you explain to everyone who's watching, that emotion, that feeling that you felt when you started seeing the momentum happening, seeing the sales coming in, the reality started setting in. So explain to everyone here, explain that feeling of like, wow, this is like really going on, and the reality just starts to set in. Tell me how you were feeling.
Well, you want to
that is, to me, it was like somebody opened up a door. Like And all of a sudden I realized everything we're doing that we were learning from you was starting to work. And it was like somebody just opened up the door, and like, it was just amazing to me. What a great feeling to actually know this is now working for us. I know you felt your own feelings, but that's how I felt.
Mine was a little different because when you guys introduced us to PLS, I immediately knew that it was something I wanted to do, and I really wanted to focus on it. But so I knew it would work. I just didn't know. I didn't have the skills, actually. I mean, I didn't have because we were new. I mean, we were completely green. We had no idea what we were doing. So we had to learn it from you. Each step we had to learn. I just knew that I had a link and I paid somebody and I got solo ads and, and then I started making sales. But what to really do with that, we had no clue at the time. So when that started, we started realizing, and the light bulb started going off, and it was like, wait a minute, this is going to require a little more than just, buying a solo ad. This is going to require consistency and paying attention and really analyzing.
But when
it started happening, it was like, now it was self-fulfilling. It was reward. It wasn't, and I'm going to be honest, I know this sounds crazy, but it got to a point where it wasn't really about focusing on the money.
No.
It was about focusing on the result. And I never thought I'd ever say that, but
today we're like that. And you guys taught us, do not concentrate on the money. And I was like, what? But that's what happened.
But when it started happening, it was like, it was proving, it was validating the fact that I knew it was a system that would work.
Yes,
and could prosper well.
I want to add that when that first happened, when we started really getting momentum, it was like, my thing is I wanted to tell everybody I knew about this system.
It's real. It works. Oh my God.
I'm like, how can you not want this system? And that's really where I went. So
pretty much where we still are today.
Yeah, to this day we're like that.
I love this system. I think it's great.
You told me that before. Remember when you first got started, you said, I don't know what it is about the system, but I really, really like it. And talking about focusing on the result and not the money, people really think it's always about the money in the beginning. And reality is, when you focus on the result, the money follows like a magnet. It's so true. It's so funny. But if you focus on the results, there's a train of money coming right behind it. But if you focus on the money, you're not focusing on how to get
that is exactly true.
How to get those results to build your profits.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean?
You can't focus on the money in the very beginning. If that's your focus right now, you've got to crush that, because that is not going to carry you forward. What's going to carry you forward is focusing on the results. Just like how you said in class, there is a process to this whole thing, right? If you don't drive traffic, you can't collect a click. If you don't get that click, you don't get a lead. If you don't get a lead, what happens? No sales, no conversion.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, and just for us too, I mean, we still have to, keep, focusing on what we're doing.
Always.
And everything. So what we're teaching and what we teach you, as you guys know, we always told you this, is that, whatever we're teaching, we're actually literally doing it.
We're doing it ourselves.
So, and that's why it works, right?
Yes.
So, but I want you to think about this. Now we are embarking in a whole new year, 2019, and we've been implementing new strategies. And we've been talking about these new strategies and everything else like that. And I know you guys immediately were like, that's it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it because every time Asa Rich says something, it just helps more and more and more down the road, right? So, and tell me, how do you feel about like the new changes, like the new trainings that we've been providing with, in affiliate marketing and everything with our team?
I totally believe in what you're doing. Like I'm so into it. Like, you learn so much in your classes, and you couldn't, I couldn't even put a price tag on that if I wanted to, because there's so much to learn. Do you have anything to say?
Well, I'm going to say, I can tell you this from watching, especially watching Di go through it, because again, she knew absolutely nothing. And
that's why
the way that you've designed your training now, it's like she has learned so much. And then what I like about it is because people maybe don't realize this, but Di and I do totally separate aspects of this business. So we're fortunate in that sense to be two people being able to come together to do one job, but we do totally separate things. So whereas I'm the person who I'm looking at the data and I'm looking at the technology and I'm trying to get there, really analyze every little thing. And she's more the person that's on social media and she's talking to people and she's making the posts and she's doing all that. And the cool thing about it is by following you guys, we each get to learn.
Yeah.
In our own sections, because you'll talk about the data and analyzing it and get your results and track all your clicks and this. So you're talking my language, and then Ace she's gonna do all the social media and she's gonna teach Di how to do her posts and how to brand and how to do all of that. So it's not like you're just following somebody that says, okay, well, I want you to do things this way. You're following, a team, a power team that actually allows us to become a power team. And I think that's really cool. I really enjoy your training.
Oh, I do. And you take your time, like you really care whether people learn it or not, and I think that's great. And I think that everybody in your classes is learning from the two best teachers out there. And that is God's honest truth.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
We appreciate it.
We wouldn't be sitting where we are today if we hadn't, have followed you
No,
guys.
and a lot of people, they jump from like teacher to teacher to teacher to teacher. And we said from the beginning, we're not doing that. And that is the truth.
Yeah, that is such a true statement. Like Di's like, I'm not going nowhere. I'm staying with it.
You hear that a lot, actually. Now, this is I want to talk about Robin for a second here.
Mm-hmm.
People make a lot of excuses about being in business, and they always say things like, "I don't have the time," and I know that your job is very demanding of what you do.
Yes.
And I commend you for putting in the time, even if it's a little bit, right? You know how to leverage your time. So your job is very demanding.
Yes. Yes.
When you come home, you still put in the effort to build your business, like we did when we had jobs before, right? And tell people who still have a job and are building this business, okay? Give them some advice on how they could really leverage their time when it comes to building a business and having a demanding job or just a job in general.
Well, understanding your daily method of operation is really important. Now, I have a job where I'm on call 24/7. So, and I'm constantly, while I'm at that job, putting out fires all day long. So anything I plan never happens. So it's kind of hard when they said, when you guys told us, get a daily method of operation together. It was like, really? Like nothing I ever set out ever happens correctly, And by the time I get home, I'm tired and I'm exhausted. But I'm going to tell you, since we got back from that event and I've really focused on our business, I walk out, like I said, I'm 14 episodes behind on General Hospital. I walk in the door and I'm energized because now I'm working on my business and I'm working on, for me, and I'm helping my people. And so it's a totally different ball game. I mean, it really is. It's a totally different thing from going from there, and not that I like my job. So I'm not one of these people that doesn't like my job. I like my job. So when I come home, I just like my own business much more, and so you find the time. And it's really easy if you, like in the beginning, I was really kind of crazy because I had all of these things. I was overwhelmed with all the trainings. Like, what do I do first? What do I not do? What should I really focus on? And I found for me that if I focus on, because I don't have a lot of time, if I focus on my email marketing and the things that I can set up the night before to post and automate, then I'm more productive with what I need to get done. So I started out where I'd say, okay, I'm going to write my emails. I'm going to do, and I don't do it the same way now, but I used to do 2 emails a day. So I'd say, okay, I'm going to write my AM and my PM and I get them done tonight and schedule them to go out. And that's one thing off my plate, you know. And now I'm checking all of my links and my data. So I check my stats. I'm really kind of crazy about that. So I started checking everything out. But I learned that if I took the 2 hours or 3 hours that I do have, and I really figured out what things I could do that would produce the biggest results, I should do in those 3 hours. Anything else, you know, was second.
Give an example. Now that you're saying that, give an example. Like, you know, what things do you think are most productive when it comes to, you know, having only 3 hours to really, you know, run that business when, you know, you come home from work?
Well, now things are a little different because, you know, we're making sales like all over the place. So we have our own team, you know, so we have our own team of people. So whereas in the beginning, it was like, okay, I'm going to set up my emails and I'm going to make sure they go out and I'm going to get my videos together and my descriptions and my keywords. And that's what I'm going to focus on for tonight, for tomorrow. Oh, we still do it, but I've learned how to work it a little differently.
Right.
And so now I've got MTI members to set up. I've got bonuses to give away. I've got stuff I've got to create. So
now you guys, you hear? You're listening?
I mean, and I'm going to be honest with you, and this is actually kind of funny, but to be perfectly honest with you, we went on vacation, so we weren't even, you know, at home, and we got our MTI sale. It's always when we're out doing something different that they come in.
We were just
amazingly enough.
We made $1,000 commission while you were like away from the home.
We made $1,000 commission while we were moving.
Wow.
So then then it's like, okay, my first priority, obviously, at that point is to get my team members set up, you know. So we really take time and focus on that. So Di will get in there and start talking to them and find out what they need and kind of tell them a little bit about the bonuses and what we're going to do and how we're going to set them up and try and help them with the daily method of operation. And then I come in on my time that I have. I want to make sure all their funnels are set up, and I teach them how to do what it is that I'm setting up for them so that when they have team members, they can teach them. So my time starts to section itself off based upon where my priorities lie. And of course, my team members are the top priority. So now what I do, instead of doing my emails the night before, I on my day off, I schedule them for the week. Wow. So that I have time during the week to help the team members and do the training and get that stuff taken care of.
Can I add something to that?
So hold on. So you're saying that as far as the most productive thing that you can do in a span of a few hours is really more about following up, email marketing, building a relationship with those emails and everything?
And helping my team members.
Awesome. Okay, cool.
Because, you know, teaching them and helping them better their lives and help their business really ultimately in the end helps mine. So
the only thing I wanted to add is that when she used to come home tired, and still to this day, she'll come home and she'll be tired as anything, but she forces herself to do the work that needs to be done in the business.
That's passion. That's passion right there.
That's it right there.
That's the missing element that people don't understand.
Yes.
Is that fire, that passion, that like I had the same thing, working 12 hours a day, like Geek Squad and Best Buy, coming home and tired still, but still doing the activities that are leverage.
You gotta love the process.
Yeah.
Well, and now, you know, like I said, we have our own set of team members. So we have people counting on us and relying on us. And
so we all do.
You know, I mean, and I know you guys know this because, you know, you guys are at it nonstop. So it's kind of like, even if I wanted to take time off or I wanted to take a moment, I've got people relying on me, and that's important.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, when you're building a business and you know, like this, it's important to note that what comes first is really what you're doing as far as you like learning and investing, because the more that you take care of yourself, the more value you could offer to your team to help them keep growing.
Yes.
And people got it backwards. They go, well, I want to focus on my team. though that's important, you can't focus on your team unless you focus on yourself first.
Exactly. Well, because you've got to learn in order to teach them. You got to constantly.
You can't do anything if you don't, take care of you first, right? So the more you take care of you, and the more you invest in you, the more you have more to offer, right?
Sure.
And then they do better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let me just recap for the audience who's actually watching right now. There are a couple of golden nuggets that she dropped mad nuggets. I mean, between Di and Robin, there was a lot of gold nuggets. Somebody said this is pure gold, Di and Robin. Thank you very much for sharing. These two are already on their 1, 2, 3. You're on your 4th MTI.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think 2 more next week.
2 more, I think, are coming in.
I want y'all to really take that in, okay? Just so you know what is MTI. That is a new high ticket affiliate level within Power Lead System, and you get $1,000 per MTI member when you bring them in. Commission. Yeah. That's straight profit, and a $200.
One person. $1,000.
$200 override for tier 2, just so you guys know about that in case you're wondering. But also you said live events is key. Live events is when your belief system started to grow and the passion started to grow. So positioning is key. And also having a DMO, knowing what you're doing every day in and day out. And when you have a job or you have a demanding job, you said you work in the hotel industry. Somebody thought you worked in a hospital.
No, hotel industry.
No, you can be on there.
Hotel industry, guys. Let's get it clear. And she's doing this. Okay, she is doing this with her partner, and they leverage off of each other's strengths. So before it was in the very beginning with these two, they didn't know what they were good at. They didn't know what their strengths were until they actually started the journey and started doing the homework and started the process. And then when they started acquiring skill sets, then they started saying, okay, you do your share and I'll do my share, right? And that's how you run the business together as a partnership. Me and Rich are no different than you guys because, we do the same thing as an entrepreneur couple. What we do is we leverage off each other's strengths.
But this is also for my solo guys and solo gals out there. I before I met Ace, I did this by myself. Okay.
You did, yeah.
And I was successful. Mm-hmm. But I can tell you that I like what Robin said about, focusing on the team, but also making sure the emails were put out there. Mm-hmm. So that the most important thing in her business is also following up. You know what I mean? Making sure that people are seeing her emails, connecting with her with the emails, building that relationship, because you're always building a relationship one way or the other. Whether you're seeing them on social media or you actually do email marketing. Yes. Now, there's 2 factors in this business. You can do it 2 ways. One way is social media, okay? Or you can do it just cold traffic. Cold traffic means that you don't have to really show yourself on video, all those kind of things, but it requires more of a consistent higher investment to put the numbers in your favor to get those sales. But I'm going to caution you, regardless, if you're not on video, it's not going to 10x your income. Okay. Exactly. You can still, I've seen people do it without being on video, but they're putting a lot more investment to try to get to those higher numbers, just to let you know.
And let me build up on that. I mean, we still have a lot of time here, and then we're going to do some Q&A. I want to talk about your show. So you guys, I started working with you guys, and I started telling you that you needed to get on camera, and Di was like, I don't want to get on camera. There's no way. And I was like, okay, well, listen, if you don't start understanding video marketing, you're not going to be able to scale up and grow your business. Remember when I talked to you about that?
Yep.
So then you guys came up with Wake Up with Di and Robin. Can you share with everybody about the concept of Wake Up with Di and Robin? What results have you gotten or lessons you've learned from just embarking to something so new as video marketing and your Wake Up with Di and Robin show?
In the beginning, I think it was just a little too soon for us, but we came up with some funny stuff. We did skits. You guys gave us a 30-day challenge, and when you challenge us, we're going for it.
Nice.
Well, and that's actually
challenge.
That's actually what started our Di and Robin show. Yes. Is because you guys challenged us on that 30 days, and we sat back and we said, we have a vision. We just want to be able to sit back in the morning, have a cup of coffee, or depending upon where you are in the world, maybe it's a glass of wine at that time. I don't know. But we just wanted to be able to sit back and motivate and inspire people.
It's what we do to this day.
Just be who we are.
Yes.
Just try to provide value. and just be who we are and help people out there. And, you know, I'm going to tell you, at first we were like, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know. Maybe we got 5 years. And,
Everybody thinks that.
But it started growing, you know. And I'm going to tell you, one of the important lessons that I personally have learned in doing this process with our morning show. I mean, I could like it all day long, but if everybody else doesn't like it, it doesn't help me.
That's very true.
You know, I have noticed, because I am into the email marketing and I do track everything that I track, you know, it's so easy to just send out an email and tell people, follow up with the people and let them know that you have the morning show. Because I'm looking at it like Di and I stalked you guys. You know, we did. We stalked you and we wanted to see how real and genuine you were. And so in my mind as a customer, I'm thinking, okay, you know, I'm going out and I'm going to find these people and I'm going to look at them in video and I'm going to stalk them. Well, now I'm thinking as, you know, the business owner, wait a minute. I want people to be able to see who we are.
And now it's happening. Now you got people stalking you now.
Exactly. But
you don't know how many people say that too. We're stalking you. I'm like, what?
But we were like, you know, how are we going to do this? How are we going to, you know, how are we going to get people to see us and to view us and see that we're real? And then, you know, I started putting it in the bottom of our emails, and we have our own little logo, of course, for that. And so I started putting it at the bottom of our emails, and then I started noticing the new people coming from, I remember the emails and the names on the emails. And so then I would see them come through on Facebook, and it was like, wow, that's kind of cool. Like, I know that person because, you know, she's usually the one that does all of the social media. So she recognizes everybody's name on social media. But when I see him come through from the email, I go, wait a minute, that guy's on our email list and he's now on our morning show. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of like a compliment, you know?
That's beautiful. That's
like
beautiful.
I'm going to tell you, it's very, very important if you're new, as soon as you possibly can, get yourself out on video. That's your brand. You got to get your brand out there and just show who you are and be real. People see through fake.
Well,
and that you cannot be fake on video.
You know, I wanted to say something earlier about what Robin's doing. Robin took the initiative to really dive in email marketing skill set a little bit deeper. Okay. And I like what she said about like, wow, I'm starting to see people, you know, look at us on the morning show who's on my email list. Now, here's the process of when you actually are generating leads through your ads. You know, through solo ads, right?
Right.
You're going to see people that it's a cold market. They don't know who you are. Right. There's no trust built. Mm-hmm. So what is the best way to build trust? Video, right?
They got to see you.
And I learned this in 2008, so it works. And it still works to this day, if not more now than ever.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is, guys, if you paid attention to what they're doing, they're pulling leads away from solo ads and turning them into buyers by watching their morning show. Are you guys getting that? Enough said. That's phenomenal. Because now you guys, you're like a kid in the candy store going, gee, what solo ad vendor do I want to run traffic with today? You know what I mean? 'Cause you got it down.
That's right.
You got it down, that's you know? Right, so yeah. you have a process and a method on what you're doing that's warming up your market, warming up those leads. And that's helping you get results, which I commend you.
Well, you know, people ask us all the time, you know, how do you get traffic? How do you do this, that, and the other? And you know, and I tell them, you know, we were taught to one paid traffic, one free traffic source. And that's what we focus on. And we really focus on that. We do a lot of solo ads, obviously. I mean, it's time. It saves me time, builds my list, and helps me focus on the people on my list. And then, you know, she focuses a lot on the social media, and we get a lot of our team members from Facebook. True. You know, we really do. But it's because we're constantly doing free paid. You know, we're constantly rotating it always.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Wow, this is really, you guys are getting a lot of value today.
I have my controversial question.
Ooh, we have a controversial question coming up.
I'm going to ask my first controversial question. And controversial questions, guys, are really good to ask on interviews because these ladies were not prepped before we interviewed them. We're shooting right off the cuff. This is live.
Yeah.
It's uncensored. It's coming out correct. Okay.
They want to know what the question is going to be, but
yeah,
They wouldn't tell us.
for your journey. Okay. And if anybody relates to this, please let us know in the chat. We're going to do Q&A with Di and Robin. They're going to hang out with us a little bit and they can answer some of your questions.
ooh,
Through your journey, I know, Di, you went through a personal breakthrough. And before that happened, you had a struggle. You had a very major problem with money. And when you were building your online business, there was something about investing. And you just, for the life of you, you could not get that, like you couldn't get through that. You had to invest in your business. And there was something that was happening. And you remember that coaching session that we had?
I do remember the coaching session that we had about it because Robin and I were opposite, and I had a bad relationship with money because it wasn't that I didn't have any. It's because I grew up with it, and I didn't want to be. I related money to being like snobbish.
Ah.
And I didn't want to become that person.
belief system.
So it was different for me. Like, I just didn't want to be that person. Like, that's what I thought it was going to lead to. Then I realized after talking to you, it's really my core. I'm a good person anyway, so I wouldn't change. And I had to do that whole investing thing and just forget of what I was projecting, so it was a little different for the two of us. We both had different ideas about money, but your conversation that day really, really made a light bulb go off in my head. And I realized that it wasn't happening the way I pictured it. So
Yeah, we said it was not your fault. Remember, it's not your fault. It's just beliefs that stems from childhood and the way you're growing up, and it really does play a big role and a big factor in your success as you get older.
And this is what's important, ladies and gentlemen, when you're watching this, as you're hearing Di and Robin's story of success and how it all began, and what they went through, and then how they overcame these challenges. I want you to keep in mind, it all begins up here. Okay. Success is a state of mind as well. And if your mindset is not conditioned properly, if it's not rewired for you to become a successful, wealthy entrepreneur, to think like an entrepreneur, you're going to be still dealing with the old roots, the roots of bad programming and old paradigms that will hold you back. And you've got to let that stuff go. And, Robin, you had some stuff too that happened as well, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm going to tell you, I've always been a person that's made lots of money and I've spent lots of money. And one of the biggest challenges for me before having this conversation with you guys about your relationship with money and understanding what that relationship is.
That was such a good conversation.
It really was, actually. It was very good. And I knew instantly what my issue was. And I don't know if maybe some people can relate, but I grew up with my grandparents. So my parents weren't, they weren't, my mother died. My dad really wasn't, at home, but I did get to see him. And my dad loved money. And my dad was good at making money. He could sell the shirt off his back. He was great at that, which is probably, a thing in itself. But I had a problem kind of like what she did, in the sense that I just always wanted to get rid of the money.
She's impulsive.
And not, I mean, like, if I made it, I spent it, like I never really thought about investing it. I just thought I could die tomorrow and here I'm going to be sitting here with this money. And so, I might as well go out tonight, I mean, and it's sad to say, but it's really kind of true. I mean, I've always paid my bills, but just the sense of, like, if I got paid today, I could be broke, 3 weeks or tomorrow or the next day or whatever. And so and not that I cared, in a sense, like I said, my bills were all paid, but I had to really pay attention to, Robin, you don't have to spend it as soon as it comes in. You can actually invest it, and so that was a big turning point for me, is realizing that I could invest money.
Yeah.
and I could put it into the business because, you know, I was also one of those people. I started out in the hotel industry very young. So I was like 13 years old. And when I did, I put like a certain percentage of my paycheck to stocks and stuff, right? So and then the company went bankrupt. And I had spent like all these years, you know, putting all this money to it. So investing to me in my mindset was like, yeah, I mean, what's the point of that, right? So when we started talking to you guys and realizing why we had the money issues maybe that we did and why we, you know, had the issues that we had, we realized what they were and realized it's perfectly normal given the circumstances of what we've been through.
Correct.
But now let's just invest the money in solo ads.
Now we do nothing. Now we do nothing but invest.
Yeah,
Put
right?
it to traffic and advertising.
Right?
Yeah.
Advertising.
Yes.
What do businesses need?
Exactly.
They need to advertise.
That's why you need capital.
So,
Yeah.
so before we actually start taking Q&A, I want to ask you one final question. Okay. And this is for everybody who's watching the live right now. What advice would you give to someone who is just getting started?
Mhm.
Okay. And they're brand new. And like, what is your number one advice you would give to a totally brand new person who has been either skeptical or maybe they just don't understand it, they don't believe in it?
Right.
You know, what would you tell this individual who's brand new and looking to get started with this type of marketing?
I'm going to tell you, I'm probably the most skeptic person out there in the world. And the best thing that I can tell you to do, and I know it because I've lived it and I'm going through it, and that's leverage yourself. Leverage yourself up. Go all in. Take the chance.
It's not a chance.
I mean, I'm saying in their mind, you know, like the chance. Go in, just get yourself leveraged up completely in this company because it's a lot easier to make an MTI sale than it is to make a diamond or a platinum.
So where can people get a hold of you if they want to seek you out and try to find you and stuff like that?
Well, they can find us on Facebook. They can find us on dianerobin.com.
And we'll put that in for them.
We're revamping a lot of stuff, but we're there, so you can definitely find us. Yeah, I think
every morning,
Monday through Friday.
Yeah, wake up with Diane Robin, and you know what? You guys have your own merchandise now too, right?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I'm a promo host, so I like to do that.
I wanted to say something to the new people, though. My biggest thing is don't give up. Don't let yourself get too frustrated. And don't treat your business like a hobby because otherwise you're not going to go anywhere. Listen to your mentors, and I promise you that's the truth. Do what your mentors tell you. Don't fight it. And you'll go somewhere. You just have to be willing to learn. And that is my suggestion to the new people.
Yeah, I mean, definitely leverage yourself and stay consistent.
Yes.
You know, anything after 21 days becomes a habit, and that's true. We've lived it. We've done it. And I'm going to tell you one of the things that really worked for me is that 30 minutes in the morning of motivation, you know, listening to, you know, you guys talk all the time, Jim Rome, Les Brown, Bob Proctor, all that. I mean, that really does set the stage for your day. And it does, you know, help you stay consistent and helps you keep your DMO on track. So.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and
thank you for that.
Thank you so much, guys. And you guys can hang around for a little bit. We're going to go ahead and take some Q&A. If everybody don't mind, we'll stay a little bit longer.
Yeah, we're about like five minutes, right?
A couple extra time because we have some people here who have some comments and we have some questions. But one of the comments that jumped out is Tina Brewer says, like Ace said, a jerk without money is still a jerk with money.
True.
That's very true.
It's all about your origins, right? Your origins. If you're a humble person and you become wealthy, then you're just more of a humble, wealthy person. That's what ends up happening. But if you're a person that, you know, has some problems and, you know, you're an asshole, then you're just an asshole with more money. Yeah. It's just how it is. More of an asshole. So
let's take Q&A,
guys. Go ahead and
guys.
type in the chat your questions. What would you like to ask Diane Robin based on their interview here? What would you like to know? We have a few minutes here. Go ahead and post your questions.
We can give them the floor. All right. No,
it's just like that. And then, yeah, when the question come in, you can go ahead and do that. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's see here. Questions. Let's see. Go ahead and type in the chat.
Let's see here.
I'm so proud of you two. Oh my gosh. Every time you guys get a sale and every time I see you guys have new results or something new, you guys report to us all the time. So it's like when you tell us like some good stuff is happening and you're like really excited.
And we tell you what good stuff's happening.
And yeah, and you celebrate, you want to that celebration is really, really important. Celebration, right? It's like we look at each other and what do? We always say, our babies are growing.
Yeah. Our babies are getting wings.
Our babies are getting wings, you know, and we do that with all of our students. But, you know, when we see you guys grow, it really makes our day. It fulfills us because, you know, it's so much easier. It's so much nicer to go to bed at night, lay your head on the pillow and be like, you're doing something in someone else's life. You're making an impact. And I'm just sorry, but you know what? I'm really not so sorry when I say this, but it really fucking pisses me off when somebody says to me they want to build a business online and they don't want to teach anybody. You know why? Because I remember Di and Robin, you know, they were in that same predicament. They weren't even sure if they were going to be good teachers. They weren't sure if they were going to be good mentors and start sharing the value with other people, because what we do, learn, do, teach is the principle,
right,
and you must duplicate that principle.
But I must also step in and say something.
I know you will.
There's things that me and her don't agree on everything,
We're
right?
different. So that's how it is.
Everybody builds this differently.
Yeah.
And people have success doing it in different ways.
Yeah.
For us, it has worked out by doing it social media and paid marketing, one free marketing strategy, one paid marketing strategy, and staying consistent and focused with that. You know, focus with that. That's how we build our business successfully. And it's worked very well. Okay, as you can see. But there's other people out there who are building their business that can do it, you know, in different ways, and they can still get results. It just, whatever you choose to do on how to, let's say you don't want to do any social media, you don't want to do any videos, and you want to just drive traffic, advertising, and just do email marketing, you can do that, but you bet your bottom dollar that it's going to require more of an investment, consistently more of an investment.
True.
And on top of that, you have to master the skill sets of email marketing.
Yes.
That means you have to go above and beyond
that I agree
to
on.
really learn the ins and outs of email marketing, persuasive language to pull people in. These are skill sets that are needed and required to have success on the internet without doing video. So whatever way you slice it, no matter what it is you want to do, whatever strategy you want to focus on, you really need to, you know, learn those skill sets, and you can't run away from it. So
awesome. See, but you know what? I agree with some of the things you say too.
Yeah.
So that's what's great.
So we got questions here.
Mark Gibbons has a question for both of you guys. So then, Robin, how has your DMO changed from being a newbie to now?
Oh, wow. Like in the beginning, it was all over the place. We didn't even know what we were doing. So now it's like, it probably started like right after the event, our whole DMO changed. And we do the same thing every single morning. Like early back in the day, I didn't do motivation every morning, or I didn't study as much as I wanted to, you know. Like now I do the same things every day. And to me, that is what made it work a little bit.
That's true. In the beginning, you know, I wasn't studying so much because my time was very limited. So it was kind of like I would get up, I would do my emails, I try to rush around to do everything. And now that I'm more educated and more aware of the business and how to accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish, my DMO is more strategically planned out. And so I make sure that I have motivation now where I didn't before, because I realized how much it helps me throughout the day, and definitely bouncing from one job to the next. And I'm constantly learning now. So I always make sure that I put an hour of time in my day to make sure that I learn something new so that I can teach something new. So I'm constantly learning more and more about it, whether it be email marketing, whether it be about video, whatever. I mean, I'm constantly learning more about it. So that's where my difference is versus where it did in the beginning.
And I would also add on there that to make sure that you take time during the day in your DMO to talk to people. You have to talk to people every single day.
Oh yeah, I know you do. I know you do.
So also Mark says, how has your DMO changed you from being?
we just
Oh,
went
wait.
we just went through that.
And the other
Just
one.
ask
Yeah, I got the
that.
wrong
We
question.
just have to be else. Okay. Okay. So Fajar says, is it better to work as a team or work solo individual businesses?
Di and I have worked together for years.
Yeah.
Even in the karaoke, we did that for 15 years. And, we've always known that we have different strengths and weaknesses. So together, it works well for us. So I think we would rather have one business than have two.
I actually have worked for myself, by myself even before karaoke. I had a t-shirt business that I did all by myself. It was very successful, And then when I first started karaoke, I was with other people, but it didn't gel. Like when I met her, she had skill strengths that I really needed in the business. And we realized that we work very well together as a team, So I prefer the team, but like either one of us could do businesses by ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, we could do it on our own, but I think we bring different value to.
It's more fun to have a team, but hey.
And it's easier. Yeah, it helps to have somebody work with you. So, I mean, we enjoy it. But again, we've been friends for over, 20 years now. So we know each other well. So it works for us.
Good point. Good point. And Mark Gibbons says, any tips, Di and Robin, on implementing a good DMO that helps you get results?
I'm going to say the 80-20 rule really applies here. I'm going to say, really think, the 20% of what you do that's going to produce the 80% result. And
that is absolutely true.
And that's where you got to start, and for everybody, it's different. Again, I'm into email marketing. So a lot of my strengths and stuff are going to be focused more on the email marketing and the analyzing the data. But for her, it would be different. It might be reaching out to 10 people a day on social media or,
Oh, it's way more than 10.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying from the beginning, when she started out making sure that she spoke with 10 people a day. Now she speaks to like a lot more than that. But so it just depends upon which area you want to focus on first. I will say this. I didn't accomplish anything by trying to do everything.
Ooh.
Well, I love that advice. That's some
that.
great advice. We had to come in for that one.
So I would focus on what you really like,
yes.
What you're passionate about, what you
definitely
connect with. I'm a published poet, so writing is my thing, and so I enjoy that. I'm also a person that really likes the analytics of stuff, so the email marketing works for me.
Yes,
she likes talking to people.
I like talking to people. I like helping people, because if I can help somebody, that makes me feel better than even making the commissions.
But in the beginning,
I really believe that is who I am.
That is very true. But in the beginning, we got more frustrated trying to do everything and realizing we got nothing accomplished. So I would focus on one thing.
I'm glad you said that. And, Mark, that was a good question because a lot of people do get frustrated in the beginning. They feel like they have to do everything. You want to take the next one?
Yeah, next question from Tracy Lee says, Di and Robin, I love you. And what is the absolute number one thing you tell your new members that actually opt in and buy from you?
Number one thing. I always go with the don't let yourself get frustrated and never quit. That is my biggest advice. If they have a problem, call us. We'll get them through it, But I'm bad too, because I'll call up my team members and I'll make sure that they're studying, because I don't want them to get overwhelmed. I don't want them to get frustrated. So I really, really go out of my way to make sure that that's not happening.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you one honesty. I'm gonna give it to you. The thing that I tell people is I don't really want anybody to, put their family in the poorhouse trying to leverage themselves up.
That is right.
But you can't, honestly, seriously, you know, it's a lot quicker to make $1,000 commission with $1,000 commission than it is to make it with $20 a month. Okay. So you really need to focus on that and see where your needs are, and understand that if you really want to make your business work, you really need to leverage. And I can only say that because I experienced it and I went through it in the beginning. I was one of those hesitant, I'll just go gold, you know, and that's how we started out. But so my thing is going to be what I tell people: make sure you're consistent and make sure you leverage up.
Now, I want to add something to that, and not because Ace and Rich are here, but really find yourself good mentors, because I'm going to tell you, if you don't have that, find somebody, because it's like you don't know what you're doing. And when you start watching your mentors, and if your mentors are really good, they're going to be there for you, and they're going to guide you to where you need to go. And if the one other thing I can tell that I tell our new team members, absolutely go to events. And we're trying to get all of our people to go to the next event. So that's what you do. It's the best advice.
They're great for marketing, and they're great for getting to know people, and they're great for you realizing how real it is. It's a bonding and a connection process you don't get anywhere else. And so you want to make, and again, it doesn't matter what company you're with. You want to get to events because you gain something so much more by being there.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Oh,
And
that's
next
awesome.
question.
Next question is from Joyce Jolly. And Joyce Jolly asked, Diane Robin, well, more Robin, how long did it take for you to get your DMO down consistently to strategically plan out your business work hours?
Okay. Well, it took me 6 months to stop making it a hobby. So I'll tell you that. And, you know, of course, once we got back from the event, it was immediate. I can tell you that right away. On the plane, on the way back, I thought, you know what? Whatever I got to do to get these things fit, you know, to fit these things in, then that's what I'm going to do. So I probably took about 3 days, because that's usually how long it takes me to process just about anything, to really map out how I was going to do it, because my job is so demanding. So how was I going to be able to fit in the things that I needed, and where was I going to look for everything that I needed? You know, I mean, because like as far as Ace and Rich, they're our mentors and we follow them. But we also gain inspiration from other people as well, you know, Jem Rohn, Bob Proctor, other people in different areas that we also gain from too. So it's like, it's a matter of knowing exactly what skill set you want to zone in on. And that's what made my DMO so important, because as long as I was trying to do everything, I was never going to get anything consistent on my DMO. The minute I said, okay, this is the only thing I'm doing, and if I do nothing but do it for 21 days, then that's what I'm going to do. And so the minute I just made up my mind and said, this is what I'm going to do, it was almost immediately.
I love that you said that, you know, when you opened up that question, like you literally said, I had to stop treating it like a hobby. And most people do that because they're so into the demanding hours of their job. And then they look to this and they go, oh, it's that internet thing. Yeah, I'll just get to it when I get to it. And you know what? I farted away so much time when I was in that position.
Oh, we had that battle for a while.
We had that battle so much, right? It was
Yeah.
so bad with me. And then I had to learn the hard way. And I don't want that anybody to go through that. But
No.
sometimes you do have to go through that.
Yeah,
You,
I think that's why I get on our team members, because I don't want them to treat it like a hobby. Because once they start realizing that it's going to work, you know, it's that thing that makes you want to keep going. You know,
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Yeah, because I remember before, like you know, you were in your own world, the way you were thinking, and now the way you're thinking, you know, you're thinking more like a business owner now. When I first met you, you weren't thinking like a business owner, but now you are. But like also what Ace said, sometimes that has to happen.
Mhm.
You have to go through that breakdown sometimes, you know, to realize that, look, this is real. Why am I BSing myself thinking I'm going to change my life by running this business if I don't take it seriously?
exactly.
You know, and you treat it like a real business. See, people think because it's an online business, they think that it's more like a lottery ticket. Like it's more like, hey, I'm gonna make money online. Cool, I'm gonna sign up to this thing, and dollars are gonna be falling from the sky. And the reality is, no, it's a real business. And here's the problem with that. And I did a training on this not too long ago. I did a live on some mental faculties that goes on in people's mind, is that they don't even know how to run a business. So they come in from a job mentality to a business mentality, and most fail for that reason. So that's why, with our training, we cover all those things too, about mindset, business, and structures and things like that, because you need to know this stuff. You really do. And if you don't.
Well, and another thing that I really like about your training, and it's something that I said to Di a long time ago when we decided not to treat it like a hobby, I'm a firm believer in laying the correct foundation.
Yes.
So that you can sustain your business further along. And that is one of the things that I think is just incredible about the type of training that you guys do, because you literally are breaking the foundation into little bitty pieces, placing it all together and sticking that glue in between to let people know that the solid foundation is really what's going to hold you later on. So as long as you learn, your branding, and you learn the things that you guys are teaching, then that foundation will be solid further on down the road.
Awesome.
Yes, absolutely.
We got one more question. Let's see here. Mark Gibbons says, question, any tips on book recommendations on motivation or YouTube leaders like Jim Rohn, Bob Proctor, etc.?
Magnetic sponsoring, number 1. Think and Grow Rich, number 2. I'm a big Tony Robbins fan, so I like Awaken the Giant Within.
I'm a Tony Robbins fan too. I like them all actually, but I love Les Brown. His giggle, something about his giggle, just
you got to be hungry.
And we're actually reading one now.
With a purpose or something?
Yeah.
We just started.
We just started. It's with a purpose or something. But I'm going to tell you, I've gotten 4 chapters into it, and I really, really like it. I don't have a whole lot of time to read, so I do a lot of the audio stuff. But I can tell you that I cleaned out my entire office, rearranged it, and reorganized the whole thing on the first 4 chapters. So it's actually really good and motivating.
Also, get the one thing. I really like the one thing. If you don't know what that is, it's like
I haven't yet dived into it because obviously I'm too busy teaching you guys. So
right? See there?
Oh, I see how it is.
I gotta make time for everybody. I make time for myself to read. But we actually embark on that journey too. We started with Bob Proctor, and we did a lot of Deepak Chopra, to help with our mindsets and get in flow.
So I have another question.
Now it's Jocko Wilkins.
Jocko. Oh my God.
Willings. Jocko.
Willings.
Okay, last question, and then we definitely want to let these ladies go because they got to eat their food. So we have Tracy Lee here who has a question. Says, Di and Robin, what was it like when both your mindsets changed, and then what happened?
Oh my God. The world opened up when that happened. Like, it was crazy.
It honestly did. I mean, first of all, we had just gotten, we just went to Reno, and neither one of us had been to Reno. So that was really a cool experience. I don't really get many vacations. So being able to take that time off was really awesome. Really, we had that clear thought of wow. So when the wow hit us, it kind of hit us at the same time, which was really, really cool. And so on the way back home, when we were, in the plane, we were like constantly masterminding.
Oh my God, we were just masterminding away when we first, even on the plane on the way back. So yeah, it was a huge difference in our mindset. Like nothing was going to stop us then.
But I'm going to tell you, and one of the things that, and one of the reasons it is this isn't just a business for us. This is a lifestyle.
Yes.
We literally constantly think of new ways to do things. We're constantly thinking of how to better serve. We're constantly thinking of what kind of value we can give. What we can do differently in our morning show.
Yeah, we're very creative.
Yeah, I mean, we're constantly thinking of new ways to do things. So the fact that it became more of a lifestyle to us because we are that passionate about it, that it just took off and it just, it's endless at this point. There's so many things that we can do with it now that we never even thought were possible before.
And thank you for asking that question, because
That's a great question.
That was a great question.
Yeah.
So in closing, I want to say Mark Gibbons got something to say here. He said, actually, I just put it up there.
Oh, it's too big. It'll cover them up.
That's too big.
He said a lot of stuff.
He said, this was a really great session. Di and Robin, thanks so much for sharing your success tips and answering my questions. This was very helpful to me. Di, you can call me any day to make sure that I am taking action.
I might do.
Accountability partners are important.
Oh, no, he's not done yet. Hold on.
He's done. He's still right.
80-20 rule. Spend time on income-producing activities. Connect with people. Learn something new daily. Invest, learn, and teach. Focus on what I like. Takes massive action. Never, ever quit. Put your goals in writing and say them out loud. Focus on results and not the money.
What a great way to close out. That's awesome. Di and Robin.
Any last words?
Yeah, all the best of success to you guys, and thank you so much for this interview was planned out way in advance, but you guys had to do a lot of lifestyle changes, which is okay. And we said we were going to make it happen, and we kept it, and we definitely.
It was my fault.
I know, but you know what? You can add this video. You can keep this video recording. You can use this for the future, and just your story is now going to really show your journey and the transparency of what you guys went through, how you went from total newbies where you were in a karaoke business to now you guys turned to professional internet marketers.
That's awesome.
And it's awesome.
So before we close everything out, do you have any last words that you want to share with the world?
Anything you want to say?
Just what I said before. I just don't think anyone should quit. Give yourself some chance to let your business grow. If you're with Ace and Rich, stay with them. Learn everything you can from them. And that is from my heart. If you're not with a mentor, that I don't know if everyone's on your team in this group, but
They should be.
Just learn everything you can like a sponge from these two.
That's true. And one of the good things about them is that they are constantly growing. So every time they grow, they share with you, and that makes it even better. I mean, that helps us continuously learn from them. What I would have to say, and I can only say this from experience, be consistent, leverage up in your business, and stick to your daily method of operation. I mean, because those are the things that are going to help you, especially if you have a job like I have, or you are tired when you come home,
Force yourself to
remember, in the end, it's going to all be worth it, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, don't ever quit. Don't ever quit.
I always say don't ever quit. And you guys are definitely, mirroring everything that we teach you guys, and that's what all we want for you is to become successful business women, and really take these skill sets to your own things in the future. What we see for you, I mean, we see the potential, but what really comes down to is how you see yourselves in the future.
Yes.
Well, it's a lot different than what we used to see.
See, I told you guys, we're not going to recognize yourselves. You start working with us.
I do remember telling you that in the beginning. Yeah.
We're going to be fighting for stage rights.
But I do want to say thank you to you two, and I mean that from both of our hearts. Like, we stuck with you guys, no matter how many people came at us and said, "Well, let me show you." No, we stuck with you two. You are the best, and we thank you so much.
Oh, I appreciate that.
It's our pleasure, and we're very proud of you guys as our students.
I'm very proud.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Go ahead, go eat. I know you guys just have some food.
Thank
Take
you,
care,
everybody,
guys.
for joining us here on this interview. We will be coming back with another new MVP member. We have MVPs coming and going, like they're growing in our team. Di and Robin were the first, though. They were the first, and they set the pace and set the bar for our future team MVP members that are coming. So if you're not with us, like they said, what are you waiting for, right? Just get in touch with us. Send us a personal message. Let us know, what is it that you're looking for when it comes to having the right mentor, the right offer, the right system, and the right business? Like, talk to us. We are not untouchable. In fact, when Di and Robin reached out to us, we gave them the same amount of attention that we're going to give to you.
Exactly.
So make sure that you actually reach out to Di and Robin. Did you like their story? Did you get inspired? If you want to talk to them, you can reach out to them and click on the bubble that is on their profile, and it'll take you straight to their profile page. You can add them a friend. Okay, send them a friend request and a message, say, "Hey, I saw you on Ace and Rich's live." And
and if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe.
Yeah.
Leave a comment, like maybe you're thinking of a question after this live is over, right? and we'll help answer those questions as well. Okay. You guys have a great day. Love you and appreciate you. We'll see you on a new live very soon. Bye now.
Bye now.